Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing well today. And in this video, I'm going to be heading outside and getting the garden cleaned up. I have some things that I need to take out of the ground, and then there's also some things that I'm going to be planting as well. And I'm super excited to show you guys what it is. Okay, the first thing I'm going to be doing is watering the plants. Okay. My hose might be on. I gotta go turn it off. Alright, the hose was on. I just turned it off. So now let's go try this again. Okay, now we're gonna go and water the plants. Okay, so these plants are just completely dead. The bugs have taken over and have just destroyed this plant. And I had the kale growing inside of the greenhouse. And I know the greenhouse isn't fully covered, like the insects can still come through the bottom if they really wanted to, like, you know what I mean, they can just fly up right into here and get through the cracks, and I'm pretty sure that's what they did, because I had the kale in here and they just got ate up by the same type of bugs that are eating the Brussels sprouts. But that's okay, I kind of figured something would happen. But I have these guys over here that I wanted to show. These are the green beans, and these are the ones that I got from the farm market. So I've never grown these before, and I'm really excited. I'm going to replace these with it. So I'm going to rip these out, place the beans here. I don't know if I'm going to keep these on, because I'm pretty sure the beans need to grow up on the trellis. So I'm probably going to take it off, rip all this out. We're going to rip out these too. And I'm realizing if I ever want to grow brassica plants, things like kale, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, you know, things like that, then I'm going to have to wait until fall when these bugs are just not out here, because it's very difficult to deal with it unless I had like a full coverage, kind of like what this old raised bed used to have. You can see that we had it before, but we took it apart because it was falling apart. It was kind of hard to maneuver the way that we had built it. We had to like lift it up to get to it, so it wasn't the best design, but it worked out for what it did. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these up and plant the beans. had to take off my gloves. They were making me sweat too much. But I'm gonna go ahead and plant these. Don't know where my shovel is, unfortunately. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and put the trellis back on. Okay, that looks super nice. I'm so excited to see these grow. Never grown them before, first time getting the seeds this year, so I'm super excited. So the other plant that I have in here is the summer squash, and I'm going to be planting that over here next to the beans as well. So it will be like that, and then they'll all be next to each other. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now real quick. So I'm also gonna be ripping out this kale as well because it's already getting destroyed, as you can see. It's already starting. Those are all of the little babies or eggs or something on it. I'm not sure exactly what part of it is, but I was realizing over here, which this wasn't on purpose, but there's Swiss chard growing in here next to the kale, and I'm gonna see if I can just rip the kale out. Oh, I'm trying to make sure that the leaves aren't intertwined. Okay, alright, I'm gonna try to do it. I might need both of my hands for this. Hold on. Alright, I ripped it up. I hope I didn't disturb the roots too much on here. I don't know, we'll have to see and wait how it grows. But I did have Swiss chard in here growing originally, and it just wasn't growing the best. I'm going to go ahead and move it over here a little bit more in the shade. When it starts to come in the shade, we'll just kind of cover that up. But yeah, we got all of our plants in here. We got our beans, our summer squash, and then the Swiss chard. So hopefully all of that will grow well this year. I want to talk a little bit about what I've got growing over here. So these are my marigolds. They are kind of dying here. Let me put the camera inside. You can kind of see it better. They are dying, but there's also some coming back up. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave it for right now. And then this is the sweet basil. I am planning on collecting these seeds. That's why I'm letting it grow like that. And then I also have another sweet basil growing right here. There's a bunch of other things growing in here as well. Not really a fan of it. I have to rip that out a little bit later. It's kind of hot out here. I've been having to go back in and outside the house because the camera keeps getting really hot. And then these are the radishes, and you can see they're starting to pop up a little. Radishes are just so cool to watch grow. And we also have some tomatoes, and they're growing as well. You can see they're starting to grow. I'm super happy about this. I'm gonna go ahead and take a couple. Yeah, because when I first had the tomatoes growing inside the house, I was not very positive about it, but now they're growing very well. And these are the other tomatoes. I think these are the indigo cherry drops. I can kind of tell by how they look. And then the garlic chives are starting to flower again, which I don't really mind when they do that because all of the insects come and it's really cool. And then this is the cabbage. I'm letting them seed as well. They look kind of crazy, but I'm hoping that I can get some. I've already harvested some of them and they are growing. But we'll see. Later on this year, I'll probably wind up growing some cabbage. I'm also going to be experimenting in my greenhouse this year during the winter. Oh, I thought this was open. And I'm going to try to grow some things in here during the winter time and see how it works out. We are planning to put like a tarp down here at the bottom so that we can prevent as much wind to come in and cold air to come in. So yeah. And then these are some of my other plants. This kind of got ruined because we had people fixing our roof, and yeah, they kind of snapped some of the plants, but that's okay. And it's cool because then these snapdragon flower came and it started growing down here into this container as well, which is really cool. I had the spinach growing in here and I tried to plant more seeds and I can't get them to grow now. I'm gonna keep trying though. And then this is the parsley that was inside, and you can see some of the new leaves that are coming up are a lot better looking than some of these, so we'll see how that grows. And yeah, I've already harvested some of the wild bergamot. I left some of the flowers out here just for the insects and stuff, but I already have some inside, so I'm not too concerned about it. And the sage is growing really well. And yeah, the other thing I want to grow and continue to grow, I have the sign out here, is some lemon balm. I'm trying to grow it in the house, so I'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is what I've got going so far. This garden year may not be like the hugest that I've had in the past, but I am happy to have something. Okay, so now I'm down here in the patio area, and as you can see, those spiders are like taking over. But this is the rhubarb. I know it's not looking good. I have not harvested any of this year. I actually was trying to pull out a bunch of them because what I need to do is I need to put it in a bigger pot, but I don't have one at the moment other than this one. But I feel like I need even a bigger one than this to plant that in. So yeah, it's gonna eventually happen. I just don't have what I need right now, but it's okay. And I did try to plant things in here and nothing ever came up. One of it was corn, which I never have success with growing corn. I'm always interested in it, but I'm having a hard time doing it. And then over here are the other tomato plants, and as you can see, it's just kind of like a test experiment. I don't always get as much sunlight. I'm sorry that it's so loud. It's our AC unit. So anyway, I have the tomatoes growing down here and above because I wanted to see how they would handle growing down here. And these are the cherry tomatoes, so they are going to be a little bit like skinnier and taller, but still the ones up top are growing a lot better. So I know next year I'm not going to have the tomatoes down here. I don't like how they're growing. I know that there's more shade that comes over here, so I'm excited. I'm happy that they grew though, because these were the plants that were inside as well with all the other tomatoes, and they were all looking crazy and dying in the house. But this is why you don't give up on gardening or give up what it is that you're trying to do, because things can grow back. The plants do have a lot of resilience to it. And then this is the summer squash. There's already been a couple of flowers growing. I haven't been keeping track if they're like male or female, meaning are they flowers that have the pollination in it, or is this the flower that's needs to have the pollinating inside of it in order for it to grow? It sucks because I don't have any sunflowers growing this year, so I don't have like a lot of pollen that I could bring other than having a male and female on here, and then either I do it or hopefully an insect can do it for me, or a pollinator, I mean. But this is growing pretty well. I'm just so happy that I'm even able to grow what I can grow this year, because this year was very different for me in the gardening. And then this is all the same plant. One of them is zucchini. Yeah, that one is zucchini. I think these two are the zucchini ones, and then this is the other squash one. And then as you can see, I planted them all at the same time. So that was planted at the same time as this. And you can see that these are not growing well at all in here. And I think what I'm going to wind up doing is getting rid of these Home Depot containers, because that's what they are. And I know a couple years ago I've complained about these, but I was seeing, just trying it again one more time to see what would happen, and it's just not good. So we're gonna wind up getting rid of these. We're not gonna use them for gardening. I know that they're not meant for planting stuff in, but we had them already. So, you know, we try to put holes in them and, you know, make it more efficient for the plants, but they just don't like it. So I'm gonna make sure to not do that next year. And the reason that I came out here is because I'm gonna be harvesting these potatoes. Now it's really crazy because I've never seen this before. This is my second year growing potatoes, but it's like new potatoes are sprouting or coming up. Actually, well, yeah, some of them are. You can see right here, but this one's actually growing off of this stem right here. And then these are growing off of here too. But these potatoes have been inside of here for a very long time. And as you can see, when they were doing our roof, they kind of made a mess over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these potatoes out of the ground. I know that there's new ones coming up is what it seems like, but these have been in here for a very long time, and I want to get them up and just see what I have going. Oh my goodness, I am just so grateful and happy for this. This is just so cool. Harvesting potatoes, I feel like will never get old. It's just the coolest thing ever. So this one already has something growing, which I think I'm just gonna plant right back in here, and then we'll get more potatoes before it becomes too cold out. And I also have another potato that I have inside that I'm gonna bring out here, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant those really quickly. Okay, I got my strainer to collect the potatoes, and then this is the other potato I was talking about. I've had it growing inside the cabinet for some time now because I knew that I wanted to plant more, and I know people usually cut them so that they can have more spuds in different places, but I'm just gonna do this one and then the other one, and then we'll just see how it goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash these up, and then tonight I'll make something with dinner with them. I'm thinking about having like a simple meal like potato wedges, because that's something that we all like in our family, and so I think that would be something good to cook. I need to scrub them a bit more, but I'm gonna wait until a little bit later when I do that, because I'm not gonna cook this hot second. But I will be cooking later tonight for just like a little dinner that I'll make. The way that I cooked these potatoes was using the air fryer, and I really like using this as a quick way to cook something up if I don't want to put the oven on. And I am really happy with the amount of potatoes that I did harvest. And I want to mention that the potatoes may have been in there in the dirt for a little too long, because when I was cutting them, it was kind of hard in a way that I felt wasn't normal with how potatoes are from the grocery store. And so I was looking online, and it was saying that when the potatoes have been in the heat for a very long time, or it's getting too much heat while they're growing, then they can become hard and translucent in the middle. And it did look a little off to me when I was cutting them, but it's not anything harmful per se. Like, there's nothing wrong with them that isn't edible. It's just that when I go and cook them, they were still hard somewhat in the middle after I had baked them. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, I can tolerate it, and it's just something that I gotta keep in mind next time when I go and harvest the potatoes and take care of them and stuff. Well, I have some growing right now that I had shown in this video. And so what I'm going to do is probably move the container more underneath of the deck so that more shade can just kind of stay there and protect the potatoes a bit more. And I'm also planning to put some more mulch. And an easy way that I like to season the potatoes is just to do it right inside of the pan or the slot, I don't know what you want to call that I'm going to be putting back into the air fryer. And I just put some garlic, onion powder, salt, pepper, paprika, smoked paprika, and some parsley, and I just put some olive oil in there and mix it up. And I just make sure that everything is seasoned well before I put it in. And then when I do go and put it in the air fryer, I put it on 400, and then I do it for 15 minutes. And because I was unaware that they were gonna become hard still in the middle even after baking them, I do put them in again for another 7 minutes, I believe it was, because I thought, well, maybe they didn't cook all the way through, or I don't know. But I think it was because the potatoes had got too hot from the sun, and it kind of just changed the texture of how the potatoes are. The flavor isn't really changed as much. It actually tastes good with the seasonings, and that's why near the end of the video you are gonna see me kind of like give a thumbs up, like it tastes good, because it does taste good. It's just slightly hard in the middle. And as the potatoes are cooking, I am going to do some cleaning up, and I'm just putting the dishes, clean dishes away, and then I'm going to be just washing what I have dirty at the moment. I hope that you all have a great week, and thank you for watching and tuning in. I will see you in the next video. Have a great one, and bye-bye.